Well, hello. It's the 8th of January, Thursday, the 8th of January. Hope you're well. In the UK, it's meant to be snowing here later today. It's not snowing yet. It's not actually that cold, but my goodness, when I stepped outside today, it was really slippy. I don't know what is going on, but my road in particular was like an ice rink. I just couldn't move. So today's run was a bit frustrating. It was walk treacherously, it was jog, then it was walk, then it was run quick when I went onto a gravelly track, then it was walk again, then it was hobble. A very frustrating run, but as always, I got it done. And I wanted to focus again today, given that I'm only 22 days away now from being 50, and that I've been running for so many years now. Bar a few issues where I got food poisoning, never get sick, as I've told you before. I run every day, apart from Christmas Day this year where I went for a long walk with my dad. But I wanted to talk to you about what motivates me to run or to exercise and to stay fit. And some of it is going to sound very egotistical, but it would be good for me to understand your reasons for running as well. Or maybe what I talk to you about, maybe use that as fuel to get you started on your fitness journey. And that could be running, swimming, cycling, whatever. The one thing I do love about running over events like cycling or swimming is that I feel in running, if you stop running, you stop. If you stop cycling, you can coast for a little bit, you get a break. You don't in running. You're either running or you're walking. And a little bit the same in swimming. You can coast along a bit with the buoyancy. So I feel that running gives you that overall aerobic fitness. And I do notice that probably about a year ago now, unusually, because I was running with slower runners, I got a slight twinge in my hamstring. First time that's happened actually. And I went on the bike. I was still very fit on the peloton, getting well within the top 5%, but I just didn't get the same workout as running. Also, I wasn't outdoors. I didn't get the fresh air. I didn't feel the pounding of my legs or being able to use my upper body. So very, very different. But look, I digress. Let's go on to what motivates me. I think the first thing is, now I've been running for so long, it is a habit. If I don't do it, I feel rotten, I feel lazy, I feel sluggish, I don't feel mentally alert. So that's a huge part of who I am now. Running is who I am. Exercise is who I am. I can't separate that from Mark. It's just me. And I'm hoping for those of you who are going on this transition or already run that you feel the same. The next one is, I like to stay ahead of the crowd. I don't want to be average. I don't think any of us are average. And I know that sounds, again, very egotistical. And I was going to say it's not about being better than others, but actually some of it is about, I want to do more than the average person. I like that for my mental health, for my mental energy. I don't want to be like everybody else who takes the easy road. That sends a fear of God into me, taking things easy, or somebody saying to me, you've coasted in life. It's almost this, I've got this carrot of I love being fit, which I'll come on to, but I've also got this dread at the other end about people saying to me, you're average or you're lazy. So again, I want to stay ahead of the crowd. I want to stay attractive for my wife. So my wife married a man years and years ago who was fit, who was energetic, who I think looked attractive as I can look. I always say to people, and I say this to my mum and my son. I've got a very good relationship with my mother, but I always say I've never been the most handsome man in the room. It's very rare that people are. But I've got a few things going for me, which I think is why I've always had very nice looking girlfriends over the years, and now I've got an absolutely stunningly beautiful wife. In fact, people are always blown away when they meet my wife. Number one, I try to be very nice, respectful, always a gentleman. Number two, I always am spotlessly clean. So you'll see that I'm always shaved. I shower a number of times a day. I always want to be smelling nice and clean. I think that's very important. But I also want to stay physically attractive for my wife. So she married, like I said, this man who was doing lots of running, very fit physique. But physique isn't quite the same because my diet was a lot more strict then, but I've still got a very good physique for my age. And I think that's important. I want my wife to still find me attractive after all these years, and I don't want to let her down. I want my son to be proud. I don't want him to think, because I'm an old dad, you know, I'm turning 50 and he's 9. I don't want him to be embarrassed that he's got an old dad. So I want to remain active and fit. And I have to say, I'm probably fitter than all the fathers that I meet there, despite some of them probably being, or some of them are 20 years younger than me. I love the feeling of the energy and the power that fitness gives you. The busy dad talked a lot about this. He said he walks around and he feels his body is pure energy. It's tense, he's tight, his physique is strong, his muscles are always tensed and ready. And if you look at his physique, you can certainly see that he's got an explosive, fantastic physique. You'll probably pick up a theme here that I love that guy. He's got an incredible physique. He's clearly a real English gentleman. You can tell that by his accent. He's clearly a hard-working man, but my goodness, he puts in the perseverance and the strain and pushes his body. He's not a weak man. And I love that he talks about the energy and the power. You always walk in a room feeling energized and ready. And I see so many people on a Monday morning or at different times of the day, and their energy's sagging, and they're only young. And I think, I'm totally not like that. I'm bursting, I'm ready to go. So I love that feeling. Holiday. So yeah, my physique isn't perfect. Like I say, I don't lift weights, but I've got a really good physique, I have to say. You know, you can see I exercise. So when I go on holiday, again, I like to know that I look great, despite being a little bit pasty, but I look fit and I look strong. I could look stronger, but again, you know, I go on holiday and I'm proud of my physique because I've worked hard for that. When I'm running with others, I want to be the quickest, I want to be the strongest. As I say, I've set up this running club. I've got some really strong runners who probably genetically are a lot better than me, but I'm keeping up with them, making up for it with pure determination and consistency. I think that's my biggest strength, is the consistency, that I'm always running. I will see really great people with great genetics and they'll run, they'll have a break of 4 or 5 days or a week, then they'll run again, and every time I think although they're building up the fitness, it probably feels like they're starting from scratch every time. So that matters to me about being one of the fittest people that people know. I don't want to be seen as lazy. That's a fear that I've got. People saying he's lazy, he sleeps in, he doesn't keep himself fit. That's a real fear of mine. So I don't want to be seen as that way. I still want to achieve the best physique that I can. I'm always obsessing about how can I get a better physique? Is it looking better in the mirror? Sexual energy, got to bring it up. I know people talk about when you're in your 40s and your 50s, your sex drive falters or goes down. I'm completely not like that at all. I still feel as sexually energetic as I did when I was teens, 20s. Again, I think that is down to my fitness, I think. But I think, again, that's important for your relationship. I want to maximize my potential. I always believe that God made you in his own image and he put us here for a reason, many reasons. Some of those you may not know until you're near the very end, but I just want to maximize the potential that God has given me, both physically and mentally. And then I guess I also love that running high. It's very rare that you'll feel worse at the end of a run than you did at the start. And sometimes it is hard to drag yourself out, but I think I've probably given a comprehensive list there of all the things that keep me motivated to run. So challenge, a few challenges for you. You may have extra things on your list that make you stay fit. I would love to know what they are. It could be that you're divorced and looking for a new relationship, or like me, you want to make sure that you're still really attractive for your wife, or you may have some other valid reasons. Please share those with me. And if not, and you're thinking about a New Year's resolution of getting fit and staying strong, then I'm hoping you can use some of my ideas here about how you may use those to get your fitness journey up and running. It's been a long one today. I do apologise. It's gone a lot longer than I expected, but I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you.